Commission for the Engineering Sciences admitted Mr. Jehum Cho on 28th of November 2019 to start his doctoral work under the supervision of Anthony Vassiliou here on the work with the title Optimization of Uncertainty with Power System Applications. And when the research work was finished, the rector decided on the following composition for the jury. Of course, Anthony Vassiliou as the promoter, then Daniel Catanzaro, author of Louvain, also Daniel Kuhn of EPFL, also Andy Philpott of University of Auckland, also Bert Williams, also from Louvain, and also usually myself as the president of the jury, also from Louvain. After having the preliminary examination of the dissertation a few weeks ago, the jury was gathered again on the 25th of January for the public defense. All members were present at the exception of Andy Philpott and Daniel Kuhn. The jury deliberated after hearing the candidate and decided that the candidate to declare the success and to officially entitle the title of Doctor of Engineering Sciences to Mr. Jehum Cho for his work. So congratulations.
With pleasure, improvise, but but I always do and I always enjoy it. So I'll tell you maybe a few stories about Jehum that kind of attest to some of his most remarkable traits. One is that we are almost academic cousins because, as I guess most of you might know, he started off at the Department of Industrial Engineering and Operations Research at UC Berkeley under Alper Atamturk, who is one of the top experts in non-convex optimization worldwide. So when I was a PhD student at the same department, a bit too many years before, Alper was the fear. He was super technically capable. We had our prelim exams. We heard the year before I came that he gave this prelim question on optimization that 2 out of 11 students passed. So we would tremble in the side of Alper. And he was extremely eclectic. Like he picked his students very, very selectively. He picked only the best students, and he worked only with the best students. So the fact that Jehum was able to be recruited by Alper is immediately a signal of his extraordinary mathematical skills. Now, when I heard that he was available, and I heard that through a Greek connection, that was Patakis, right? I was like, okay, we're in business, let's get this guy. So we had a Skype call, we discussed about his options in Belgium, and I was super fortunate to add him to a group of amazing students that I'm super proud of, and they continue to this day. I was very pleased that he made his way to Belgium. That's story number one, which attests to his ridiculous technical expertise, which is reflected in this manuscript. When I saw your proof on the projection for the chapter number 3, I was like, wow, this is what I signed up for. 5 pages of proof is exactly what I was hoping for. So that's story number one. Story number two continues from that point. I think one of the first things, so we had a coffee at XKey, And I think one of the first things I mentioned to Jehum is that I admire his, this is a bit touching actually, I admire his humanity because he's really able to prioritize and know what makes him happy in life. So it's really admirable the jump that you made as a person to prioritize your relationship and the trust you put in your relationship to come to a foreign continent and be together with your partner. And it's something you continue to honor to this day in the recent discussions we've had about your next steps. It's always been, my personal well-being first, and then work can come along and kind of complete the picture. So I really, always learn from that and inspired from that. That's story number 2 about Jehum, the person, and the third story connects a bit also gentleman, the tall gentleman on the side here. So Jehum was part of an experience that I kind of actively pursued while I was here, and I continue to pursue to this day, which is to connect academic research to industry and applications. And I think there's very few companies that do that as well as Insight, Philippe being the founder, which started off as a spin-off of our kind of department, the Center for Operations Research and Informatics, and this day counts, I think, 150 to 200 employees who do innovations every day in the energy and the healthcare sector. And you pick up a problem that's, I hope you got the message from what Jehum said, that it's a real important application from Sweden, like the whole country needs this. You see that it's hard, you see that your methods can work for it. I spent a few months working on it, developed some quick, very mediocre solution that was good enough for fixing it real quick. And then Jehum picked up the problem, he went away for a few months, came back with 6 pages of proofs and then a bunch of algorithms. And what my algorithm was able to do in 1 hour of runtime with a 5% gap, Jehum was able to solve in seconds to optimally, to the best optimal solution. And then that code was transferred to this national network operator and is used for site studies to this day. So for me, this was and that attests to Jehum, the scientist, but also the person who's able to collaborate with people from industry, to adapt his language, to adapt his mode of interacting. But it's also an opportunity for me to thank Philippe for the opportunity that I've had over all these years to work on these great problems. It's really been a super inspiring and fun process. And I'll stop there. Thanks, Jehum. I'm super proud of you. Congrats on your appointment. I'm very happy you're staying as an academic because apart from the fact that you should be, you can be in this space, I think you're really going to enjoy it. You have that kind of perseverance and curiosity and mindset. So it's all looking great from here on. Congrats.
Thank you very much. Maybe I can say something. It's hard to start because there are so many good things.
Didn't prepare this for it.
Yeah, it was true. I didn't prepare this part because I was so focused on the presentation, I didn't see it coming. But I would like to also improvise because I am always thinking about this, how grateful I am about it. And I'm sure you're going to put out exactly zero, and also another colleagues who graduated from our team, they will really completely. He's not only as a really good supervisor, at the same time he's like almost like a father. So that's how even though my father is here now, but but really like he talked about this like main side as well, but how many professors or supervisors you think in the world would care about it, care about listening to this story and even remembering it and then can improvise it in this moment and talking about this, how many people can do this? So you can already imagine how nice person he is. At the same time, he's one of the most hardworking person I've ever seen. But every week he always makes this 1 hour of time to everyone. It's amazing. For 4 years, no week without availability. So, and this is maybe the people who are doing PhD here, you might know this is really not obvious. We should take this for granted. I cannot think, enough. So I think so many great moments, and then one of the best things I can also say to him is that you make me free. Like in front of you, I can say whatever I think. But sometimes it's not true for everyone. You have to somehow hide yourself. You have to pretend that you are something but not you are. But especially, I think this relationship between promoter and PhD student can be quite subtle. Can be quite difficult, and you maybe don't want to show your weak side. But to him, I can show whatever what I am. And sometimes there was some conflict as well, and I think that was also the good moments where we can really build a good relationship, as if you do with your parents or friends. So I really enjoyed that. The moment maybe I will finish this by just mentioning the moment that we did this Skype call that you just mentioned. I was in Berkeley, and I was looking for the options to come to Europe, and for some reasons. And then I just got this connection through one Greek guy, and then he said, okay, there is someone who's called Anthony and who's here, and then he wants to maybe just a Skype call. And I thought it's kind of interview, I was being prepared, I was so nervous. And then the moment I did the call, he was like, come here, welcome. That was the first And I could already see that, he's such a nice person and so trustworthy person that even if I've never met him before, I can just decide at that moment that I will come. So that's this vibe I can feel it, and I never doubted this decision, and that was one of the best decisions I made. So thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much.
Now we can take a picture with the sign.
So then you can take a picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.